In this video, we will study about the parasympathetic secretomotor nerve supply of the lacrimal, nasal and the palatine glands. And as we have studied in the last video about the secretomotor nerve supply of the submandibular and sublingual gland, all these five glands they will receive their secretomotor fibers through the facial nerve, and nucleus for these glands, for the submandibular and sublingual gland, we have studied that there is a superior salivatory nucleus in the pons of the facial nerve, and the nucleus of the facial nerve for the lacrimal gland, it is the lacrimatory nucleus, which is shown here by the green color, while the secretomotor nucleus of the facial nerve for nasal and palatine gland, it is supposed to be situated somewhere near the superior salivatory nucleus. We have just shown by it black color because there is no clear cut nucleus for these two glands, the nasal and the palatine glands. Now we will trace the parasympathetic secretomotor fibers for the nasal, palatine and the lacrimal gland. All they will be passing through the from the lacrimatory nucleus, and the green colored fibers, they are the preganglionic secretomotor fibers for these glands. We have started them from the lacrimatory nucleus, but they are also carrying the fibers for the nasal and the palatine glands. Now, these preganglionic secretomotor fibers, they will pass along the sensory route of the facial nerve, which will enter into the internal acoustic meatus. Then it will run in relation to the vestibule of the internal ear, and as the nerve it enters the middle ear, it will take a sharp bend, that is the genu of the facial nerve. And at this genu, these secretomotor fibers for the lacrimal gland, they will leave the facial nerve as its greater petrosal branch. And this greater petrosal branch, it will reach up to the foramen lacerum. Now, at the level of foramen lacerum, this greater petrosal nerve, it is joined by the deep petrosal branch, which is carrying the postganglionic sympathetic fibers. Now the two nerves they join to form a nerve of pterygoid canal, which will pass through the same named canal, pterygoid canal, and this nerve of pterygoid canal it will reach up to the ganglion, that is the pterygopalatine ganglion, which is the largest parasympathetic ganglion. So preganglionic secretomotor fibers, they will start from the lacrimatory nucleus in the pons. They will travel in the sensory route of the facial nerve. Then they will travel in the greater petrosal branch. And now the greater petrosal branch has joined the deep petrosal branch to form a nerve of pterygoid canal, and this nerve of pterygoid canal has reached up to the pterygopalatine ganglion, and in this nerve of pterygoid canal there are preganglionic parasympathetic fibers and also postganglionic sympathetic fibers. Now the preganglionic parasympathetic fibers they will relay here, and postganglionic fibers they will start. So this was the preganglionic course of the secretomotor fibers, which is present in the facial nerve, that is the seventh cranial nerve. Now postganglionic fibers they will be carried along the maxillary nerve. As we can see that the pterygopalatine ganglion it is connected to the maxillary nerve by its two branches. These are the ganglionic branches. Now, postganglionic fibers from the pterygopalatine ganglion, it will pass through the ganglionic branches into the maxillary nerve and through it into the branches of the maxillary nerve. Maxillary nerve is a division of the trigeminal nerve. Now, the postganglionic branches, they will pass through the zygomatic branch, which divides into zygomatico-temporal and zygomatico-orbital branch, and these postganglionic fibers they will travel along the zygomatico-temporal branch. Now to reach the lacrimal gland, this zygomatico-temporal branch it is connected to the lacrimal nerve, which is a branch of the ophthalmic nerve, by a loop of nerves, and this connecting loop will now carry these postganglionic fibers to the lacrimal nerve, and these fibers they will reach up to the lacrimal gland. So these are the postganglionic fibers which have traveled along the zygomatico-temporal branch of the maxillary nerve, and they have reached the lacrimal nerve by a connecting loop, and the secretomotor fibers they have reached up to the lacrimal gland. Now postganglionic fibers from the pterygopalatine ganglion, they will also pass to the palatine and the nasal gland. Now we are tracing from them from the pterygopalatine ganglion again. We can see here the branches, the nasal branches and palatine branches of the pterygopalatine ganglion. And now these postganglionic fibers, they are traveling along the greater palatine branch, also along the lesser palatine branch, and they will reach up to the glands of the hard palate, soft palate, and also along the nasal branches. The postganglionic fibers they will reach up to the nasal glands. So this is the course of the secretomotor fibers from the lacrimatory nucleus. In the pons, the preganglionic fibers, they were traveling along the greater petrosal branch of the facial nerve, and postganglionic branches, they are traveling along the second cranial nerve, that is the maxillary nerve. We can also see that the pterygopalatine ganglion, it is topographically related to the maxillary nerve, but functionally it is related to the facial nerve through its greater petrosal branch, which is carried through the nerve of pterygoid canal and reaches up to the pterygopalatine ganglion. Now we can see the course of the nerve very clearly in this diagram also. Here we can see this is the facial maxillary nerve, and these are the ganglionic branches, and this is the pterygopalatine ganglion, and this is greater petrosal nerve, and through which the fibers, preganglionic fibers, they will reach up to the pterygopalatine ganglion. And also the full course of the greater palatine and the lesser palatine and the nasal branches, they can be seen from the pterygopalatine ganglion in the pterygopalatine fossa. So we are now clear about one of the branch of the facial nerve, that is the greater petrosal branch, which carries the secretomotor fibers for the nasal glands, palatine glands, and for the lacrimal gland. One of the branch of the facial nerve in this video 2, we have studied the chorda tympani branch, which carries the secretomotor fibers for the submandibular and the sublingual gland. Now we will trace the taste fibers which are contained in this greater petrosal nerve and the chorda tympani nerve. The facial nerve, it carries the special sensation of taste from the anterior two-third of the tongue except for valate papilla, and also from the soft palate along the lesser palatine nerve. Now we will trace these taste fibers from the tongue and the palate up to the sensory nucleus of the facial nerve, that is the nucleus of tractus solitarius in the pons, and these sensations they will travel along the chorda tympani branch of the facial nerve and also along the greater petrosal branch of the facial nerve. Now at the bend, that is the genu of the facial nerve, a geniculate ganglion is present, and this geniculate ganglion, it will contain the pseudo-unipolar neurons. These pseudo-unipolar neurons will have a peripheral process which will pass towards the receptors, and it will also have a central process which will pass towards the nucleus of the tractus solitarius in the pons. And we will trace this peripheral process up to the palate and up to the anterior two-third of the trunk. First, from the anterior two-third of the tongue, the taste sensation, it is carried by the fibers of the lingual nerve. So here we are tracing in the orange color the special fibers of taste which are traveling along the lingual branch of the mandibular nerve. Now taste sensation from the valate papilla, it will travel along the ninth nerve or glossopharyngeal nerve, while rest of the anterior two-third it will be carried by the lingual branch of the mandibular nerve. From the lingual branch of the mandibular nerve, these fibers they will enter into the chorda tympani branch of the facial nerve, and from the chorda tympani branch they will reach up to the geniculate ganglion as their peripheral process. So we have traced the taste fibers from the anterior two-third of the tongue, where the taste fibers they are traveling along the lingual nerve first, and then they are traveling along the chorda tympani branch of the facial nerve, and they have reached up to the geniculate ganglion. Now we are tracing the taste fibers from the palate along the lesser palatine nerve. So now we will trace them from this lesser palatine nerve near the pterygopalatine ganglion. So these taste fibers they will pass through the pterygopalatine ganglion, but they will not relay here. They will pass along the nerve of pterygoid canal, and then through the nerve of pterygoid canal they will enter the greater petrosal nerve, and through the greater petrosal nerve they will also reach the geniculate ganglion as their peripheral process. So now we have traced both the fibers from the palate and anterior two-third of the tongue along the chorda tympani branch and along the greater petrosal branch of the facial nerve. Now central processes of this geniculate ganglia, it will carry these taste sensations towards the pons, and in the pons the special taste nucleus, it is the nucleus of the tractus solitarius, which is shown with this orange color. And this nucleus of tractus solitarius, it is a common nucleus for the three cranial nerves, that are the facial, glossopharyngeal and the vagus nerve, and these three nerves they are carrying the taste sensations from the tongue. The facial will carry only from the anterior two-third of the tongue except for the valate papilla, and also from the palate. So this is the course of the taste fibers from the anterior two-third of the tongue along the chorda tympani nerve, and from the palate along the greater petrosal nerve, and we have marked the taste fibers with the orange color. Now with this we have now studied that the chorda tympani nerve, it carries the taste fibers from the anterior two-third of the tongue except valate papilla, and it also carries the preganglionic parasympathetic secretomotor fibers for the submandibular and sublingual gland, and it carries them to the submandibular ganglion. While the greater petrosal branch of the facial nerve, it carries the taste sensation from the palate, but it also carries the preganglionic parasympathetic secretomotor fibers for the lacrimal, palatine and the nasal glands, and ganglion associated with it is the pterygopalatine ganglion. So we have studied about the two of the branches of the facial nerve. One is the chorda tympani branch and another is the greater petrosal branch. Now we will study in the next video about the motor root of the facial nerve for the muscles of the face.